Hi everyone, and welcome to my Unfiltered 20s.
A podcast about the ups and downs, highs and lows, and realities of life in your 20s.
With me, Abbey Parker.
And me, Lucy Martin. This week, we're going to talk about a few different things. We're going to talk about what it's like to finish uni, how weird it feels to be sort of in that like weird space of like, we obviously are not getting a graduation, but like,
Wow.
that point where we would be graduating, and how it feels to be out of education for the moment. And
Yeah.
also, we're going to talk about the delay to the so-called Freedom Day. Whoa. Freedom Day.
21st of June.
21st of June, no longer. I can't believe, you know what I was thinking? Like, ASOS and all these brands have literally for months been like, outfits for June 21st. Like,
I know. That 21st of June feeling.
and now they're like, oh, that July 19th feeling, or whatever it is.
Yeah. It's like, I keep getting the misguided ad, and it's At Last by Etta James, which first of all, they should not have the rights to that song. Secondly, they're like, you've got the plans, we've got the outfits. And I'm like, they don't have the plans anymore.
No, they don't have the plans anymore. Did you hear about this? I'm really sorry if anyone listening has been unfortunate enough to buy tickets to this, but you are fools. Did you hear about this festival that's like being run? I don't know whether it's by the uni or like by someone in Leamington, Coventry area, called
my God.
Access Festival.
No, I haven't seen this.
So it was like a big thing. The tickets like sold out, and everyone was like buying tickets. It was meant to be on like June 22nd or something. I don't know.
Right.
And then they've refused to give refunds, but because they've said that they're just going to do it with like tables of 6.
Stop.
And I was like, oh, to be honest, if you've mugged yourself off by buying a ticket for that date, then you deserve it.
Oh my God.
I know. And they were going to sell tickets to pop and stuff.
Well, they announced when Boris was like 21st of June, but don't hold me to it. The pop people, the SU Club Night, they were like, yeah, 23rd of June, we're back.
I was like, bit premature, guys, to be
bold.
honest.
It didn't make sense to me at the time. I was like, how are people allowed to stay overnight on, what was it, the 17th of May?
Yeah.
And that's when you could have 6 people indoors.
Yeah.
And then suddenly club nights.
I know. Well, as well, if you put it into context, like, we have not stepped on campus in like a year. We haven't had a single seminar and stuff. And then they're like, oh, but we're going to open the club, guys. I was a bit like...
No graduation, but you can come get drunk.
I know.
Can I just say, disclaimer, neither of us have our mics today.
Oh, yeah, I should have said that.
The audio may be a bit different. Also, I have to have the window open because I am dying.
Yeah.
From heat exhaustion, I'm not dying. So there might be some background noise. I apologize. Student life. Mm-hmm. It's relatable. That's what we're here. That's what we do here.
Relatable queens.
Relatable queens recording on microphones in our headsets.
I was gonna say, have your department been like, we're gonna do an online graduation?
I haven't really seen anything, but tell me about yours.
I feel like I can't remember where I talked about this last week, but because I think some unis are having something.
Right.
Like, I swear some unis are doing like some things. Like, I don't know whether, I think Surrey Uni were like, we're gonna have like some outdoor graduation sort of things. Our uni has been like nothing. Like, absolutely nothing in person. It's going to be another year at least. Like,
still waiting for one hell of a party.
Stop. We're going to be like 30 before that hell of a party.
I know. Because they were like, I read in an email somewhere. We get honestly so many emails. I don't read them. I miss all the news because I'm like another newsletter. I swear I had one yesterday. But I read in one of them, they were like, we're going to welcome this year, so us, and last year back next year for like a mass graduation. I'm like, that's going to be chaotic.
Yeah.
Are you saying that people that graduated last year are going to buy their robes and caps for two years after they graduated?
They'll all be like in jobs and stuff.
They'll have kids. They'll have families. They've got responsibilities now.
Yeah. Because I was like, if like my graduation for my masters is on like the same week as what, there's no way I'm coming back for the one at Warwick, you know.
Listen, I might be in New York in a conference. You know, I might be
I might be in LA in a recorded studio.
I might be, exactly. Maybe I'm meeting Biden to discuss issues.
That's the thing though, like, especially people like from abroad anyway, they're not gonna trek all the way back, are they, just for this little ceremony?
Yeah, exactly.
Let us know if you're in the same boat. Like, comment on one of our posts.
Mm.
Let us know what's happening with your graduation. We are very interested.
Yeah.
Exciting news. We've both booked our vaccines. Woo!
Oh my God.
Woo!
I am terrified.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty scared,
Ooh.
but we'll be okay. We're
I
big
just don't want to
girls.
embarrass myself.
You gotta think though, they're getting through people our age now. There's going to be a lot of people who are a bit scared of like needles our age, I reckon.
Yeah, I know. My mum's always like, "What are you gonna do when you're pregnant? Do you know how many needles get stuck in you?" I'm like, I don't, not
Let's
me.
not think about that. Not me. I'm not getting involved.
I'm not getting. Yeah, I'm just standing outside the blood test lab, like I'm not getting involved. I always said like, if I ever had an operation, right?
Mm-hmm.
While I'm knocked out, just do it all, test it all,
Yeah.
just take my blood, just do it all.
Test me for everything.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, never heard of that. Test me for it. I don't know.
But
It's like I was terrified of having to have my teeth removed if I got braces. That terrified me because of the injections in the mouth.
Yeah.
And people were like, they are painful. I'm like, you're not helping. You're not helping.
I have had wisdom teeth come through, you know. That's been a development because I have this weird tooth that like sticks out the top of my gum anyway. I don't know where that's come from. I just one day noticed this weird tooth that sticks out, but it's not a wisdom tooth. I don't know. And then
Shark tooth.
a shark tooth. And then over the past few months, I've had one grow behind it, which I think is a wisdom tooth, and that one's been fine.
Okay.
I've had no issues. I think it's okay.
Do your retainers still fit?
Yeah, because they don't go back too far. They only sort of at the front, so we're all good. But then I've noticed them coming in at the bottom, and it seems like they're going to push my teeth out of the way. So I need to go to the dentist. But again, the thought of having my wisdom teeth removed is kind of scary because they do the needle and the gum for that, I think.
Can we record you for the podcast?
Yeah, why not?
We'll record a little video, put it on the channel.
I'll do it.
It'll
for
go
the
viral.
podcast.
It'll be great.
I'm sure everyone's really interested in my wisdom teeth. I'm sure everyone at this point is like, "Why?"
Well, don't they come through when you're like 16?
I think they can come through like between like 15 and 30. I think that's like the
Really?
age. Have you had yours?
I don't think so. No. It would really mess my mouth up if I had wisdom teeth come in. Because I was 0.5 millimeter off of getting NHS braces. So I'm just living my natural non-brace, no filter life.
Natural. Living my natural teeth life.
But I don't know. Oh my God. Every advert I get on YouTube is some kind of invisible braces.
Really?
I'm not exaggerating. I get Invisalign, I get Smile Direct, I don't know. There's this woman that comes on and goes, "Are you happy with your smile? If you are, feel free to skip. But if you're not," I'm like, this is a violation. This is rude.
That's savage.
How dare you?
I don't get any there.
I know.
So, how's your week? What have you been up to?
Good. I've been back at the student house. So I went and got my first official. Well, I've been making peach iced teas at home, but I went out and got my first professionally made peach iced tea of the year. It was great. Costa, they're the best.
Yeah, I do like
Starbucks,
Costa.
sometimes they switch it up and put lemonade in, and I'm like, whoa, wasn't expecting. But it was a very good peach iced tea. Very different from the ones I make. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
I guess they put a load of like sugar and sweetener and stuff in it as well, I feel like.
I looked up a recipe and they said you need to put cane sugar in it.
Oh, interesting.
But at home I put the syrup, obviously. And then I put a bit of this. I was like, should I put honey in it or something to my mum? And I was like, she goes, I got this vegan tree nectar honey stuff. It's like this nectar that is like honey, like runny honey, but it's vegan because it's from a tree. So I've been putting that in and it's great.
Ooh, I feel like stuff's never as good as what you can have out there because whenever I make iced coffees, they're never as good as what you can get.
Yeah, yeah.
What have you been watching this week? Have you been watching anything good?
Been watching The Circle USA. You know, I mentioned it last week. It's just it's getting more juicy.
Okay.
You know, it's like with any reality TV show nowadays, they just mess with the poor contestants' minds.
Yeah.
You know, like in Love Island, they'll just randomly be like, "Oh, we're gonna send your now girlfriend out on a date with 3 different men,"
And then
and
film
it,
it.
yeah, film
Yeah.
it and then
Show it
send it
to
out
you.
live. But we'll cut it to make it look really dodgy.
Yeah.
It's like that. They're just clearly playing with these poor people's heads. It's like I watched this video of, I told you about it, Cody Ko and his girlfriend, Kelsey, reacting to this video of this show called Moment of Truth. And everyone needs to watch it because I could not believe that this aired. I cannot believe they were
Really?
allowed to put this on television. So basically, she takes a lie detector before the show, so
Yeah.
then they know well, I mean, lie detectors are iffy, right? But the Americans love them, so they know what the truth is, right? So even if she lies in the lie detector, they know that the opposite is true, right?
Yeah, okay.
So then she goes on and she sat on the stage with her friends and family in front of her, and then there's an audience and stuff, and then this guy asks her questions, and then if she consistently tells the truth, she starts to win more and more money, like
Okay.
in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It goes up with every question, and I think the top prize is like $100,000 or something. And then so all she has to do is tell the truth.
Yeah.
But then they start with something simple: have you stolen from work? And she's like, of course. And then the audience is like,
Yeah.
oh, weird one. Have you ever flashed anyone in public? She's like, of course. And the audience is like,
What?
what? Her husband's like, of course she has. That's my girl. And then, but they get more and more extreme. I don't want to spoil it, but they
Just
bring
tell,
her ex-boyfriend out. You want to know? You want to
I'm
know?
invested now, yeah.
It's still worth the watch
Okay, yeah.
because the presenter goes, because you know, like they after a break or whatever, they'll go like back into here. This is where
Yeah.
we were. When he's like introducing the next clip, he's like I told the producers not to air this, but they've decided to. So just please be warned. Be warned. They're like, they say to this woman, were you in love with someone else on your wedding day? And she sits there and says with her chest, yes. And they're like, true.
She just ruined her marriage, like
I
on
know.
TV.
Her husband's like, they're like, how do you feel? And he's like, we'll talk about it after. Then the ex-boyfriend walks out onto stage to ask her the final question. And is like, would you leave your husband for me? And
No way. How?
she goes, yes. I can't remember what the exact question was, but that's basically the gist. The gist of it is that she still loves this guy. And this guy's standing here like, wow, winning. And this poor husband, the husband is just sitting there devastated.
That's so bad. How did they air that?
I
How did
know,
this woman go on this program, honestly? Like, she must be so desperate for
I
that
know.
money.
It's like, is it worth, yes, $100,000 is life-changing, but is it worth ruining your current life?
Yeah. The poor husband, though. Yeah, I'm gonna
I
have to
know.
watch that now. That sounds crazy. Honestly, though, they must have known before. Like, they must have had to speak to all the people, and like she'd given an inclination. They were like, "Oh, what have your past relationships been like?" And she must have been like, "Oh, like my ex, like we were together like a long time." And then they were like, "Oh, we've got something here."
Yeah. Well, because they were asking really specific questions.
Yeah.
Like, do you think your parents are proud of you? And she's like looking off at the side, like, and she's like, no. And so I'm like, why would you ask that though? Because if
Yeah.
you didn't know anything about these people, you wouldn't ask that. And like, you wouldn't
Yeah.
ask were you in love with someone else on your wedding day, unless you thought that maybe she wasn't.
Yeah, they must have to get like, or ask other people as well. They must like
Yeah.
contact loads of people and be like, "What do you think?
They
Like, what
must
can we
have
ask her?"
exactly. They must have like messaged. They must have found this ex and gone, well, we'll ask him a few questions, and then they spoke to him and went, "We've hit the gold mine.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
it." But she knew what questions were coming because she was asked them in the lie detector. You
Oh.
know, like she sounds shocked when they asked her the questions. I don't know if they just asked her loads of questions and they just chose the most juicy ones to use in the
Yeah.
show. But she answered all these questions because they need to know if she's lying or not.
That's crazy though. Surely at that point she'd be like, yeah, I'm not doing this show, like,
I
get me
know.
out.
But even then, the husband's going to be like, why? What did they ask?
Yeah, I know. Oh dear.
Oh my.
Just
Oh
even
my.
signing up to that show, you've got to know trouble is going to ensue.
I know. I know. Just go on the chase, wholesome. You're not going to.
Just go on the chase. Was it in America or was it in England?
Of course it was America.
Of course. I feel like that is one thing, like, Americans are like English people have like to be like, oh no, can't do that in public, can't say that in public. You know what I mean? Like, they would know to end their marriage on national television. Like,
Although Jeremy Kyle.
it's true, that is true.
But in America, they have Jerry Springer, and they ring a bell and they just start fighting.
Yeah, that is true. I'm gonna have to watch it now. It's crazy.
So what have you been watching?
We've finished. Did I tell you last week we were watching Ginny and Georgia?
All right, tell
Have
me.
you?
Give me, as a Gilmore Girls fan, give me your review.
Have you seen it?
No,
Okay.
I couldn't quite bring myself to watch it. I watched the trailer and it seemed like they were trying really hard to be woke.
Yeah, it is very obviously like it's like a very dark version of Gilmore Girls, like very dark. Like they very obviously take a lot of the tropes from Gilmore Girls. Like, it's not a spoiler, but like there's a guy who owns like a bistro and he's very obviously in love with the mom.
Right.
And he's the nice guy and everyone loves him.
Yeah.
And then the daughter's torn between these two guys and one's a bad boy and one's a nice guy.
Oh,
and like it's very obviously like but I don't know, I thought it was good. I thought it was very weird. Like I said that it kind of like it doesn't quite fit because it's got these two sort of like it's like, oh, this nice sort of she's making friends because her mum's always made a move and she starts at this school because Ginny's the daughter and Georgia's the mum.
Yeah.
And then it's all about her life and all the boys and all of this, and she's having to deal with like racism because she's mixed race, and there's issues at the school with the like syllabus and that sort of stuff. And then there's this really like dark storyline with her mum because her mum had her when she was like 14, 15, and she's been like homeless, and then she's basically killed loads of her husbands and stuff.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That was unexpected.
Yeah. It's not a spoiler because they're kind of, from the first episode, they're like basically, but yeah, it's very,
right.
I don't know, I feel like there's quite a lot going on.
And
you also just don't like any of the characters, like all the characters are just awful. Like,
every single one?
Yeah, the guy that owns the cafe is he's like the only nice one, the Luke, basically. All the others are awful. All the kids are awful. Like, all of her friends are so problematic and stuff, and like, yeah, but it is very much trying hard to be quite woke.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, oh my god, like, can't say that, like, or very like, I don't know.
Right. The only clips I've seen is her in the classroom.
Yeah.
And it was very woke. And then the mum going, we're like the Gilmore Girls with bigger boobs.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you really called them out.
Yeah.
But I need to watch The Marvelous Miss Maisel or whatever.
I want to watch that.
Because that's got, is it written by Amy as well?
Yeah. I think it is.
Because apparently Milo Ventimiglia, is that his name? That played Jess is going to be in it. I know.
Okay, yeah.
But the main character is what's her name? Drella, the harp player in Gilmore Girls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Lizzie McGuire movie?
No.
No, she's the like teacher in the Lizzie McGuire movie.
Right. Because basically she auditioned to play Lorelai.
Oh.
Yeah, but then obviously Lauren Graham got it.
Yeah.
But then her and Amy Sherman-Palladino were really good friends. So she's now the star of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. But I guess the people that work with Amy are quite close with her, so she likes working with the same people.
Yeah. Also have you seen Jeremy Clarkson has a new program and it's called like Jeremy's Farm or something on Amazon Prime?
Sounds painful.
It's actually really good.
Oh,
it was like him the whole way through lockdown because he owns this massive farm, but the guy who worked on the farm retired, so he was like, oh, like screw it, I'll just take over. And it's him trying to like learn how to farm. And it was
Right.
actually like quite funny. Like there's this like 20-year-old who works on the farm who just like does not take anything from him. Like he just roasts him and he's like, no, Jeremy, like you can't do that and stuff. And it was actually
Right.
like, I'd recommend it. It was a good like, if you're just looking for something like to watch in the day that's quite wholesome and stuff.
I mean, if my mother finds out I've watched something with Jeremy Clarkson in, I don't think I'll be allowed home.
Yeah, fair enough. We do not stand Jeremy Clarkson.
Yeah. She's obsessed with Paul O'Grady because he's got like a little small holding. So he's
Yeah,
got like goats and chickens and obviously lots of dogs and all this stuff. So he had like a book about his little farm.
that's
So
cute.
she's like, we love Paul Grady. Paul O'Grady. We watch every time what's it called? For the Love of Dogs is on.
Yeah, yeah.
We just watch it and cry. All these poor dogs. There are so many lurchers.
I know, I know.
When I
It's a
look at the
big
Battersea
thing.
website, there are so many lurchers. It's so sad. Literally, the only dogs on there are staffies and lurchers, and I'm like, who? Why?
I
What's
know.
wrong?
It's
What's wrong?
people have them to like race, and people have staffies to
Right.
fight, and then
Yeah.
they have lurchers and greyhounds and whippets to race, and then they just get rid of them and stuff, which is like,
Yeah. It's so sad.
mm,
Because apparently, Jenna and Julian's greyhound Bunny,
mm-hmm.
she was rescued from like a blood donor thing
Oh,
because
really?
greyhounds have like universal blood, so they're the only dog blood that can be given to any breed.
Oh,
So she literally had been in like in basically a cage her whole life. But now
oh,
she's living her best life. She's with Jenna and
yeah,
Julian.
that's good. It's sad though, isn't it? Don't have a dog if you're not gonna care for it
Um,
properly.
and do your research before you pick them up.
Yes, I'm all like I would always want to rescue because I just think there's so
Yeah,
many dogs that need homes, rather than having like breeders and stuff. I don't know.
yeah, I know. Because you can never tell. It's especially if it's online or whatever. You just don't know who they are. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. There's so many of these puppy farms and stuff as well. Like obviously with Molly May last year, was it last year? With when they had
Yeah.
that, what was it? Was it a
From
pug?
Russia, it was like a little Pomeranian or something. I
Oh yeah,
think. I don't know because it's not like. I don't know. It's just this whole thing. It's not just the dog. It's like everything around.
yeah. Because
I don't know.
if you made no market for it, people wouldn't do it. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, if everyone just said, right, no, we're not buying from these places, then they wouldn't carry on.
Mm,
It's like, I remember there was a big campaign in like 2017. So I did my work experience in the House of Commons, and it was like a big thing
mm,
with puppy smuggling, like people having dogs from abroad and being like, oh, I've
right.
rescued this dog from abroad, but you're not, like, it's literally the wrong thing to do. Like, you're not, because you're having that dog imported. A lot of the ones that you're like
Right.
rescuing, people have literally bought and then said like, oh, it's like we've rescued it, but they haven't.
Right.
Like, they have charities in like other countries where it's like the ones in this country, like, other
Mm,
countries have that, and like you're not doing a good thing by being like, oh, I've saved this dog from wherever, like
yeah.
France or wherever, because that's not the right thing to do. It's literally just like puppy smuggling.
Yeah. Well, that's the. I think the biggest thing I'd be worried about if I was getting a dog not from like the RSPCA or Dogs
Yeah,
Trust or
yeah,
something would be that what if it's someone else's dog? What if
yeah,
it's stolen?
yeah, because
You
people do
know?
that.
I
Like,
know. It's like apparently like spaniels are really stealable.
really?
Apparently, because me and my mum watched this program, and there was this guy on there who they're like working dogs. So he had these five
Right.
spaniels, and three of them just got taken, and he was like, they spaniels sell for loads. Because that's the thing now, like puppies used to be what, like 500 quid? I don't even
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
And now after lockdown, they're like 2,500 for a puppy.
yeah.
I
I
don't know.
think, yeah, I guess with spaniels, because a lot of people that have like farms and stuff have them as well. I know they're
Mm,
not like sheepdogs, but they do a lot of things and stuff, don't they? I don't know.
yeah, I don't really know. But yeah, apparently they're really nickable.
Mm.
And obviously all the designer dogs are very stealable.
Hmm.
I'd feel like I just had a target on my back. I don't know.
Yeah. I
But
just think you
we're,
have to be very responsible, don't you, when you like look into buying a
yeah.
dog? Like, not just think, oh, that one's so cute. Like, oh, look, they've bred him to be like he's got these traits and these traits. Like, that is not
Mm,
natural, is it? Like,
we literally don't let our dog off the lead
yeah,
anymore.
yeah. Well, there was that big thing,
Mm.
wasn't there? Like a few months ago, where there was loads of dog thefts like everywhere in the country. Like,
Well, my mum literally tracks it. So she's always seeing, I think because she's seeing stuff, because she follows stuff on Facebook and, you know, like these missing dog pages, so that if she sees one,
Yeah.
but because she sees it a lot, she thinks it's happening more than it is. But then actually recently, she's not overreacting at all because it is happening that much.
It is. It's huge. My mum's scared to take her, like Lily out, like on her own. It is scary. Be careful, people. If you've got a dog,
I know.
be careful out there.
Ironically, we're now the watchdogs. We're now watching over the dogs.
Yeah. Lily's kind of, she's not good though, because she like has no loyalty.
Oh.
Like, the window cleaner came like a few weeks ago, and we have like a glass door at the back.
Yeah.
And he was like wiping the window and stuff, and instead of being all like crazy, she was just following him like that as he was wiping the window. And we were like, you'd just go off with him, wouldn't you? You'd just get in his van and go off with him.
I saw a picture on Twitter and it was like, my dog has zero loyalty whatsoever. And it was like, he was on the lead, but they were like outside at a pub, and he had gone and sat under someone else's table. And he was looking at them like, hey.
Why don't you talk a bit about, so obviously Freedom Day was meant to be June 21st. It is now, July the 19th?
Right.
I did see on Twitter that they were like, rumours that it's going to be reduced to July the 5th.
I wouldn't get your hopes up.
No. My mum's birthday, July 5th though, if Boris is feeling generous. Not that my mum's really going to go to a club or anything anyway, but...
It'd be cute. It would be remembered for the rest of the time.
Yeah, exactly. What are your thoughts?
Well, can I just quickly say?
Yeah, go.
Prince William and Kate had the audacity to have their third child on my birthday.
So inconsiderate.
On St. George's Day. I was like, well, what are the chances of that? I don't believe it. Conspiracy. A prince born on St. George's Day. I don't believe it. Anyway, what are my thoughts on Freedom Day?
Yeah, being moved. Are you bothered? Don't care? Absolutely
not.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we already have freedom.
Yeah.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, would it be nice to have more people inside? Yes, that's the only thing, I think. Because as long as you're careful, you know. And, I mean, my social life isn't really... you know, popping off enough to have more than 30 people in a field together.
We haven't seen each other, can we just say, on this podcast? We have not seen each other since, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. We haven't seen each other in 8 months.
Yeah.
Long distance besties.
And you're like the most recent friend I've seen.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But now that exams are done, I'll see people. Well, but people, like 3 people. I have like 3 friends. And then plus you and Alex. I could see them all together in my house at the same time and it'd be fine.
That's crazy.
But I feel like it's fine. I mean, like stadiums, imagine the absolute scene it would be after a football match.
I know.
With like 20,000 fans all drunk stumbling out of a stadium.
That's
I just don't think we're ready yet. I don't think we're ready.
We can't be trusted.
No. It's like, I feel like even, should they stagger it? Like with clubs and stuff, like smaller venues can open first or something?
Yeah. But smaller venue, less capacity for social distancing. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. That's true. Because if it's the same percentage crowded, it's not going to make a difference, is it?
It's hard, isn't it? But like you, I'm also like, do not care. Like, I feel like, you know, for 6 months of this year, we just had to sit in our rooms, like, or 5 months, however long it was. So now being able to see our boys, being able to go, you know, to go for a drink, like, it's pretty nice. Like, there's not particularly anything right now. I mean, obviously, apart from going on holiday, but I'm not doing that this year. But
ate in a restaurant for the first time since November. How crazy is that? Exactly. I was like, the last time I ate I was with my boy, I was like, the last time I ate in a restaurant was with you.
Yeah.
Was for our anniversary, which we had to have early because Boris announced lockdown 3 days before our anniversary.
Exactly. It's crazy, isn't it? If you think, I just feel like, the first, like, what was it, like 4 or 5 months of this year was just like didn't exist. Do you feel like that? Like, I'm just like, I don't know what I did for those months.
This is kind of why I'm like, I'm glad I'm not doing a master's because, no, not to freak you out, but I'm like, I don't want to be in that hole again.
I know.
But if we come out of lockdown, it'll be different because you'll be able to go out and stuff. Plus, you're in London town.
London town. I'm scared.
You'll be fine. I'll have to come out with you the first night.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to, like, you're gonna have to just show me everything because I'm a bit of a townie.
I'm literally like not that adept at London, but like I'm gonna pretend to be because it makes me feel good about myself. It's like a little ego boost. But I'll give you the names of my favorite venues to look out for concerts because if a good indie concert comes up.
We've booked one, actually.
Have you?
Well, we've booked two, right? The first one, I'm like, oh god. So, I don't know what it's like. One of these like game where an orchestra plays the music from
the game.
From the game. I think
from the soundtrack.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going with Ollie and Ishrak in September.
Okay. Oh,
I think
cute
it's
little.
The Royal Albert Hall, maybe? I don't know.
I was gonna say Ishrak's gonna be third wheeling, but he's not. You're gonna be third wheeling.
I'm gonna be third wheeling. I've never played this game.
Ishrak, friend of the show. Friend of the podcast.
Friend of the podcast, yes. We love
Watch our Narco episode for more detail.
And then I think it's in October or November, we're going to see Picture This.
Oh.
If you've heard, I think you've probably heard their songs, but I don't know, Ollie really likes them.
Don't know the name.
And then we're seeing them at the O2 Academy in Brixton, I think.
I love that venue. Wait, is that the big boy or the little boy?
I don't know. Well, I say we're doing these things. It obviously depends on,
When is that? Oh, this is the big boy. The O2 Academy is the big boy.
Is it? Okay. I think it's that.
Yeah, it's like, the capacity is like 5,000 people.
Nice.
But it's on a slope. I've been there twice. It's like sloped and then there's barriers and then it's lower down in a slope. So the first time I went was for Logic. Because basically me and Aisha have a thing. Aisha and I should say. I'm trying to correct my grammar. I'm trying to learn.
I would say me and Aisha, but yeah.
This is the thing because I'm like it sounds too formal to say and I, but then like I'm gonna have to get used to it, aren't I? if I'm going into a job interview or something, I'm like me and my bestie.
Me and my besties.
But I don't know. Anyway, so we had this pact because I was like I really want to go see Logic, but she was my only friend at the time, and then at least the only person that liked concerts, right?
Yeah.
So she was like, okay, let's strike a deal. You come with me to see Lord. I'll come with you to see Logic. Completely opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
So I went to this Lord concert. We were literally late. It was in Brighton. And we were late getting there and stuff. We literally got there as the doors were opening. And we were about to join the end of the queue. And this guy who was like standing near the back door goes, hey, girls. And so he let like a few of us in the back door, scan our tickets and stuff, and we were like 6th row. And we got there as the doors were opening.
You'd be fuming, wouldn't you, if you'd queued there for like 2 days?
I know, we had such good spots. I was like, because it was I think it was Aisha's first ever concert, and I was like, don't get used to this.
Yeah.
Don't get used to this. Doesn't happen. This is crazy. So then I dragged her to Logic, and it was not good.
Really?
Because again we got there late because we went to Nando's because there's a Nando's opposite. I don't know if it's still there. And then the queue was insane. We couldn't find the end of the queue because it's on like it's on its own little triangle with like a road around it. So people were like queuing round like multiple lanes. So we managed to find the end of the queue, and then we were right at the back, and we were literally, first of all, I think Aisha was the only person of colour there. And we were like the only girls. The only girls were there with their boyfriends.
I can imagine.
And we were just like, yeah, and we couldn't see anything. But then I went to the same place with George Ezra, and we got there early, and we got quite close to the front, and that was great.
Okay, maybe so is that the thing, we should try and get there quite early? Try and get like close to the front? Okay.
I mean, it depends. If you're not worried about a good view or whatever, then it's fine.
I'm not too bothered about being...
Because it depends who you're going to see. Like, George Ezra, it was chill. Well, actually, because we were with O2, we got O2 priority. Because it's an O2 venue.
That's
Okay,
what we got because my boy has it.
that's perfect. Because then you get let in before
Oh,
the
okay,
rest
that's
of the
good.
people. Yeah.
I am scared though because I was thinking the other day, like, I've barely even been into like my town. Like, I've been into my town centre in 2021 probably like a handful of times, and that's a tiny little town. And a big city, I'm going to be like, I'm used to being in my room, let
I
alone
know.
the hustle and bustle and stuff.
You know what? Leamington's so quiet.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's
Because I feel
crazy.
like when we were here in term time,
It's
like in
busy.
September and stuff, it was busy. Like the parade was full. Like you were having to weave in and out of people. We
Yeah.
just been walking down the middle of the road
I
because it's
guess a lot of
pedestrianised. I'm
people
not just walking
will.
in the middle of the road.
Bad boys. I guess a lot of people have gone home already. I don't know.
I guess, yeah.
Should we talk a bit about what it's like to be like finish uni? I feel like one thing, like I'm just exhausted. Like I've got this thing I need to do for this like undergraduate research assistant job, and I just don't have the energy. Like, I'm just so like burnt out, like tired from the year.
Yeah.
I'm just like the thought of doing starting the masters right now. I'm like, oh my god, like I need a break still. It's just tiring, isn't it?
Yeah. I literally saw, I don't think I'd be able to apply for it because I'm like done, but there was like a research assistant thing for with my supervisor from my final year project doing the exact same thing
Ooh.
as my project. Not the exact same thing, like, but that was her area of expertise, so
Yeah,
that's why we did
yeah.
a project doing that. So I was like, listen, if I applied, I'd get it. Not to
Yeah,
brag,
well, you were like
but
a
I've done it
specialist in it,
already. Yeah,
basically.
exactly. I know what to do. She doesn't have to teach me anything.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know if I can do that again. I can't interview kids again. It's too stressful.
Yeah,
I'm glad, honestly, it feels great to literally have nothing to do.
I know. It's weird though, isn't it?
You and your boy both working
Yeah, I don't know how he
on
does
the
it.
grind.
Like, I don't have the energy to properly every morning. He gets up at like 7:30 every morning.
That's disgusting.
It's good. I feel like it's good to have a break after uni. I feel like that's like one thing that people always say is like, oh, you should enjoy like the summer after uni because then, it's like getting into like applying for jobs and stuff and masters starting and whatever. What are your plans?
I have
What's
no
the next
plans.
12 months gonna be? What are we,
Learn to drive.
learn to drive? That's
Learn to
exciting.
drive. I feel like that's actually something productive that I can do without actually having to be productive.
Yeah,
Because then I
definitely.
can drive myself to job interviews. That's what I'm telling everyone.
Yeah.
But
I think
sorry, I
that's a
can
good
only do one
idea.
lesson a fortnight. Sorry, I can't. No, sorry.
No, I think that's a good plan. I think if you're gonna learn, like this is the perfect time.
Yeah. And there's less pressure because you can't book tests. Tests are booked up for months and months.
Really?
I've heard until at least February, they're all booked.
What?
So I can just chill. No one will be pushing me to book it. My
It used
boy's
to be
saying book it now,
crazy. Oh,
like book it
mm-mm,
now, and
mm-mm.
then you have to learn.
No, that's too much
But I
pressure.
can't book it. I haven't done my what's it called?
Theory.
Theory.
Yeah, I remember in normal times it used to be hard to like. It was like a few months yet in advance, so I can imagine it's even worse now.
Yeah. But to be fair, I don't think people have been learning to drive in lockdown. We
No.
haven't been out of lockdown that many months. And I think people have been put off by you have to wear a mask with the instructor.
Yeah. I'm just saying. What I can't remember which ear can you hear
My
out
my
of.
left. So it'll
You
be
can.
better. I'll be able to hear the instructor.
Okay, good. I was gonna say, especially with a mask. You're right. Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
You could always ask him or her if you
Yeah.
wanted. You could ask to wear clear masks if you wanted to do that, or a
Yeah. Well, I
visor.
won't
I
be
don't
lip
know.
reading while I'm driving, so
No, that is true.
it'll be fine. It is fine. It's not that bad because a car is enclosed as well. There's
Yeah.
not a lot of background noise unless like an ambulance is going past or something. I still don't feel old enough to drive, you know? I feel like
Yeah.
why is someone letting me drive a car? That's stupid. Like what are they thinking?
That's what I feel every time I get in my car. I'm like, I'm not really old enough to do this, or am I?
You know what? I've been watching Emma Chamberlain a lot recently, right?
Yeah.
She's just turned 20. Did
I
you
thought she
know
was.
that?
I thought she was like 12.
But she like turned 20 like last week. I thought she was like 23.
Oh, did you? I thought she was young.
how dare she be younger than me?
Yeah, that's crazy.
She's moving into her second house.
What?
She's just sold. Well, she bought a house in the heart of LA, right? And now she's like, it's too busy. I want to be further out. So she's like, I'm gonna move somewhere still in LA, but like more chill. I think she's moving to the Valley.
Right. Okay.
From my
selling sunset knowledge.
Selling Sunset and $1 Million Listing knowledge.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's sold her house. She's in a rental for 6 months. I don't know why I know so much about this. She's in a rental for 6 months while she does up the new house. So she's moving into her second house, and she's just turned 20, and she can drive. She just drives herself to get groceries and matcha and stuff. And I'm like, couldn't be me. Could you imagine?
It couldn't be me either, because I'm terrified of driving.
Especially LA traffic. It's notorious.
If anybody wants to buy a car, just a side note, I am selling my Peugeot 107. Hit me up.
What year? What year?
I think it's 2007 or 2008. I can't remember.
You know what? A good car to learn to drive in.
It is 100%.
Good first car.
It's been a great first car. I was going to say, one good thing, because Julia bought a Ford Ka when she passed her test. And she had a lot of people have Ford Kas, a lot of people have 3500s, because like basically everyone at my sixth form learned to drive it. It was like, if you didn't, you were like, oh, you haven't learned to drive, you know what I mean? Because you can't really get anywhere, like in Tamworth where I'm from, because everything's quite spread out.
Right, yeah.
And the buses are awful, so you have to like drive, basically. And they all had like the 3-door cars, so, or like it's 2 doors, but it's called 3 with the boot.
Yeah.
Like, where, and then mine was the one of the only ones that was the 4-door, which I was always like, mine's got 4 doors, so you don't have to like climb over the seats to get into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Not everyone. I mean, in my college it was like limited. There was not nearly enough spaces.
Yeah.
For the amount of people there.
People just parked
like
on the road.
No one. Yeah. Like no. I mean, because it was so big as well. No one knew everyone. Like in like a normal sixth form or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So then, and plus it was in Horsham, so you could literally, it was like it was the main line, Horsham to London St Pancras or whatever. So it was like, you just got the train, everyone just got the train. Yeah, it was very rare for people to drive, and they charged, they charged you to get a parking space or whatever.
Yeah. It's very weird, isn't it, how, like, different areas, like, depends on, I think it very much depends on what, like, the culture is, whether you learn or not.
Yeah.
Like, my boy never learned because they walk everywhere here. Like, you can just walk everywhere. Real.
Yeah. I'm trying to work out where I should take my test, because Crawley is, not good. There's this roundabout that my mum's like, I still don't know how to get around it. But, like, no one does. It's not just her. It's, like, it's the roundabout.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I hate? Roundabouts with traffic lights. What's that about?
I know, there's loads in Canley. They all have
Really?
Canley is like notorious. They turn them off as well at certain times. Yeah.
Because there's the big one outside Tesco, right?
Yeah.
I remember being on the bus to my boys in like rush hour in winter, so it's dark. It's 5 p.m, it's already dark. It's raining, it's cold.
Rough.
I'm on the bus, and it would take, not even joking, 15 minutes to get around that roundabout.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Okay. Have my first crash. I will. I'm terrified though. I don't know.
You'll be fine though. Like, if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah. I mean, when we looked round, when my dad and I came to the Warwick Open Day, we were obviously looking around the psychology department, and they have a driving simulator.
Oh.
So they have it's like a proper car, and then there's like a big screen, and they do research and stuff there. So they were like, yeah, quite a lot of the students do driving simulator related projects. Not met one person that's on a project with the simulator.
Yeah, that's always the thing, you know.
I know.
Different on open days.
Exactly. I feel like they literally, that whole side of the department I've never been in. There's like a sleep lab and everything. There's like a child's centre.
Oh.
Never been in there. Anyway, so there was this car simulator, and they were like, do you want to have a go? And I was like, I can't drive. Like, I haven't had a lesson.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's fine, just try. So it was like a real car.
Really?
But I didn't crash.
Wow.
I did go pretty slow, but I didn't
You're
crash.
already halfway there.
Could do it in a simulator with no cars on the road. I could do it in real life.
Yeah, exactly. It might help as well, because if your boy gets a car, then you can watch and stuff.
Exactly.
I think that helps, because I
Well,
learned a lot
also,
from Julia when I was learning.
right, yeah. I do like watch people when they drive. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
weird. Not in a
That's
judgy
normal.
way. I just find it kind of satisfying.
Yeah. I feel like you'll like it, honestly, because I feel like you
Yeah.
like when things are like
Under my
you know
control.
how. Yeah, exactly. I think you'll like it.
Yeah. But also because my boy is over 21 and has
He
been
can.
driving for more than 2 years, he could teach me.
I could teach you as well.
You could teach me.
I'd be an
My
awful
cousin was
teacher.
like, I can teach you, and I was like,
Yeah, get your boys to teach you. That's cute. I can teach my boy.
You can teach your boy.
Yeah.
He'd love that. He would love that.
So, have you got any recommendations this week for everyone, Abby? Anything?
I think watch that video about
I'm gonna go
Moment
watch
of Truth.
it. Yeah.
That he released. He's done a second one, but I haven't watched it yet. And then what else? I think The Circle USA is good, but it's long though. They're
Is
like
it?
hour-long episodes, and there's like, I don't know, like 20 episodes. I don't know. I don't know what else. You know what? We had a Pizza Hut, and there is a lot more selection here than at home.
Really?
They still have the garlic tear and share here. They don't have that at home.
That's so weird again.
They only
isn't
have the little baguette slicey things.
Mm-hmm.
And they have these like cheese and tomato bites.
Ooh.
It was like a mozzarella stick, but a ball with a little bit of tomato sauce in the middle.
That sounds good.
It was great. It was great. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. So check your local menu.
Yeah, it's so weird though, isn't it? We were on about that last week, weren't we? How they do different things at different branches.
Yeah, I just thought I'd check to see if there's anything different, and I was like, wow, the sides are great. You need to get some. You need to get some.
Uh-huh.
What do you recommend?
I read some good books this week. I read.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend this for you. I recommended it to Alex. I thought she'd like it as well. It's called Mexican Gothic. It's by this woman called Sylvia Moreno Garcia, and it's like a Gothic sort of story, but it's like set in Mexico. She's a Mexican author. It's like all about sort of like the Mexico's sort of history of eugenics and stuff, and like it's got like ecological aspects, because it turns out like, I'm not going to say that because it spoils, but it's like there's like mold in the walls, and that's to do with like the environment, and that causes like people to be like crazy, and it's like very, very good. I would recommend that. It was a good book.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Apparently, don't judge me. I was watching a PewDiePie video, and he was like, in Sweden, they built all their roofs out of copper because they thought it looked really pretty.
Yeah.
And then it all rusted, so it like oxidized. So all these houses in Sweden have green roofs because it's like oxidized copper.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
I know. I was like, little gem. But my sister has ordered the first Shadow and Bone book.
Okay, good.
Because she was doing some research. Because I literally, you know what? After we recorded the podcast last week, we were talking, and I was like, oh, basically Lucy has all the info. She has all the info on the books. And she was like, I've literally been doing research about this all day.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, yeah, I know, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So then she was like, basically I've ordered the first one, and then I might read all three. Because she's a speedy reader, so she could read all three and then go on to the Crow one. Yeah. But she's like, I'm excited to read the Crow one, but I have to read at least the first.
I agree. That's the same as what I did.
But I was like, what are the chances that me and Lucy and I talked about this today?
Yeah.
And then you've ordered the book today.
That's crazy, isn't it?
I know.
Wow.
But I'll update you when she...
Yeah, I'm excited for her.
Gets through it, yeah. Because I just live vicariously through her. I'm like, you read it, you tell me.
Yeah. What's it called? Osmosis. You're taking it in by osmosis.
Exactly. I just absorb.
Okay, well, thank you for listening, everybody. Hope the audio's been okay. We'll be back to normal soon, we promise.
Yes. Follow us on all our social medias. Let us know about your uni graduation.
Yeah, we want to know.
And have a good week. Goodbye.
Bye. Oh, also, we are still looking for a graphic designer,
Yes.
so do let us know if you are into that sort of thing. But yeah,
Okay.
bye.
Bye.